Okay, thank you very much. Please confirm you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, so I'm just going to be talking briefly. I guess we're out of time. Just briefly on how e-learning is a game changer and how it has positively impact business growth. But before I go into that, my name is Onesimus Ocheho. I'm a senior digital learning advisor with Philips Consulting in Nigeria. So we just advise clients on how to ensure they get the best value on their learning platform. So I'm just going to be running us through this presentation briefly. So the objective of this is just to see how e-learning, to analyze how e-learning adoption within organization, how it impacts on business growth, really, and how e-learning mechanism can be a kind of catalyst to organizational excellence. So that is the objective of this presentation. So if you look at this slide, you would agree with me that today the world is changing. And since the world is changing, traditional education has also changed. It is undergoing a profound transformation, really. And people are moving, the world is turning towards online learning to achieve their career goals. And this is a survey carried out by Coursera regarding how people learn and how learning has impacted on their career and on their education. So from the top, you see that 93% of people that are seeking for education have reported that they got benefit from online learning. And 84% of people looking for career, looking to build their career have also reported benefit, and 72% have also reported that they gained confidence. That is 72% of all the learners on e-learning platforms reported that they gained confidence on e-learning. So that is to show you how e-learning has become the game changer in our time. And below that, you see that people that are looking to learn new skills, or they want to learn skills for their current job, that when they used e-learning platform, 56% of them recognized that they got benefit from it, and 38% for improved candidacy for their new job. So people that are going into a new job and that have used e-learning platforms to learn reported that at least they got some level of benefit from the platform that has impacted on their job. And people that want to start new career also. So all this shows us that e-learning is the way to go. So organizations are moving towards e-learning as we speak. So there are a lot of trends have been coming up in learning. So people are increasingly turning to e-learning to achieve their career goal, like I said. So the shift is not just a trend, but it's a revolution that is taking place in how individuals acquire knowledge, which ultimately impacts on their organization in terms of performance or in terms of business performance and growth. So before we go into how learning has impacted on business growth, I just want to show us some trends that have emerged in e-learning. So the first one talks about the micro-learning. We know that micro-learning, so it's a trend that has seen learners consume content in bit size rather than sit through long hours of online courses. People want to consume content in bits and not just sit down hours on the screen trying to consume content. So people get bored. The attention span of an average person is very, very short. So people get bored when content is too long. So they are looking for bit size, and that is what is happening in the space of learning, e-learning. So content are being uploaded in bit size and not content that is too long. And the next one talks about social learning. This has to do with where you connect, you put learning on social platforms like X, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and so on and so forth. And people are able to consume content on those platforms. And the third one has to do with adaptive learning. So adaptive learning is when you modify training content and experience based on the responses of learners. The responses of learners. So they give you their feedback, and based on that, you tweak learning to suit their purpose. So that is what adaptive learning is. Then the next one is virtual reality. Virtual reality.
Sorry,
So virtual reality,
your
for those of
slides are
us,
static.
Yes, it's not moving.
It's not moving. Yes.
So we are still on the first slide. That's the one we are seeing. Have you moved to another one?
Yeah, I've moved to the top slide. Can you see it now? Or let me reshare.
You may want to reshare, yes, please.
Let me reshare.
It's okay now. It's okay now.
It's moved now, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I was talking about the trend in e-learning, and I spoke about micro-learning, social learning, adaptive learning, and virtual reality. Virtual reality. So for virtual reality, we know this is where you create a simulated environment. You create a simulated environment that learners can interact with, where they use specialized kind of equipment, like where they use virtual reality headsets. And the essence of that is for practical and real life scenarios. Take, for instance, now, a medical training simulation has to do with a situation whereby the learner will wear the headset and the same practicals, how surgery is taking place, how surgery is taking place in real life. So the learner is getting real life experience via the virtual reality headset that he or she is wearing. So, and that is where the world is going now. My organization is coming up with something around that space, around virtual reality in our training SBUs. Then the last one there talks about the software as a service, LMS. So we know that LMS is gone cloud-based. It's hosted in the cloud, whereby there's some level of scalability to meet the evolving needs of organizations. So whether you have few hundreds of people or you have thousands of users, so the platforms today are able to cater for your needs. It's not like in those days where we have big servers planted in offices, and you have them the server on premise. So, but today everything is in the cloud, and the subscription is just like it's lease based. It's a situation where you are leasing the software. So that's just it. There's another trend that is emerging, which I'm going to talk about towards the end of this presentation. I intentionally did not put it here. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Can you see my next slide? The slide now. I just moved it. Hello, can you hear me?
No, we can't
Not
see it
yet,
yet.
actually.
Is it possible for you to put it in a slideshow?
Yeah, it's in a slideshow, actually.
Yeah.
We can't see
When you
it as a slideshow.
slideshow, it freezes.
Oh,
So when you try to put it on a slideshow, it freezes. Maybe
It has moved now and is moving gradually. I guess you might need to go back a bit.
okay. Is it moving now?
Please. It is.
I'm on the benefits of e-learning.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Okay. So benefits of e-learning really. I'm going to still talk about this. So I'll just mention this. So as we go ahead, because of time, I'm not going to explain it one after the other. So accessibility and cost effectiveness, and this has to do with where you can access the platform anywhere and anytime. And it's data, you can get data-driven insight. As an administrator, you can get insight as to what your users or your learners are doing at every point in time. And also scalability, I mentioned that before, that you can absorb as many people as you want on the platform. Customization, so you can also customize, tailor it to suit your learning path based on your need, based on your learning need. You can customize the platform to suit your requirement. Improved employee performance. So if you have this at the end of the day, by the time employees are taking learning on the platform, it ultimately culminates into enhanced performance for the employee and enhanced productivity at the end of the day. So with all this, you get enhanced business growth. So that's it. Speaks to business growth through e-learning. So can you see the next slide now? Move the slide. Can you see this slide?
Yes,
Please confirm
enhancing
you can.
business growth through e-learning. Yes,
Exactly.
we can. Enhancing business growth through e-learning. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. So this is how business growth can be enhanced. And the truth is that for organization to grow, it has to do with the competence and the competence of individuals in that organization. If individuals are not growing, it ultimately impacts on the growth of the organization, because it's the people that makes up the organization. Organization is made up of people, process, and systems. And the people part of it is very, very critical in the growth of any organization. And that is why we are talking about e-learning. So how can organizational growth be enhanced through e-learning? The first one has to do with the scalability, which I mentioned before. You can take learning, you can reach out to wider audience geographically. If somebody, but probably I have a branch in the UK, I have another branch in Europe, and I have a branch in Nigeria. With e-learning, we can reach out to all those set of people at the same time. So scalability, cost efficiency. So it reduces the cost of an organization. If you are going for a physical or a traditional kind of training, the cost is higher than e-learning. Why? Because you are going to bring in the logistics cost, you are going to bring in the cost of printing materials, you are going to bring in different kind of costs, probably transportation and accommodation. So those are costs that you are going to incur if you are going to do the traditional kind of learning. So, and when your cost is reduced, your revenue increases. So that is another way of enhancing business growth, and ultimately enhance business growth when it enhances your business growth when your revenue increases. Flexibility and accessibility. So that's another good thing about e-learning. So employees can access the platform anywhere and anytime. Personalized kind of learning. So this is where you are, this is where you assess the knowledge gaps of individual. So as learning, as learning champions or learning directors, L&D directors. So what you do is that you assess the gap of the staff in your organization, and based on the gap that you have identified, you are able to personalize the learning experience of your staff. As in, you try to personalize it and create a learning journey for each staff based on the gap that you have identified. So that is what we call personalized kind of learning. So you are not just giving them course, just go and take any course. You are not giving them course, you are not just exposing them to different kinds of courses, but you are giving them tailored courses based on the gaps that you have identified from those from the learners. So that is personalized learning experience. And lastly, performance. So once you personalize learning for staff, the gaps that have been identified will be closed because of the courses that you have recommended for those staff. So the gap of learning will be closed and employee skills will improve. And when that is done, it impacts on the productivity of the organization. So that is where business growth comes to play. So like I said before, it's a journey from individual to the organization. I think there's a noise somewhere. I don't know whether I want to mute.
Kindly mute your call.
So now 30 minutes of this 30 minutes.
Please, can you mute?
Yes, sir. I'm going on my own.
Okay.
Issue. No, we are true for today. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we are good. Listen.
Okay, please. Are we together? Okay, please, can you put on the chat box, on the chat, how learning, for those of us that works in organization, how has learning impacted your job role? How has e-learning impacted your job role? So I just want you to just write it in the chat so that we can take it from there.
Yes, sir.
The question I'm asking, how has it impacted your job in the last 2 years? Let's say 2 years now. How has learning impacted your job?
It's a different color. What color? Orange, yellow, green, blue. Blue and yellow.
Hi, Ebo. Kindly mute your call.
Afloat. They are afloat. My friend? Afloat.
Okay, learning has been a great impact. Okay.
No, that's it.
Okay. How has learning impacted your job role? How has it impacted you? Positively or negatively? How has it impacted you? Just put it there, please. Let's know. Adaptability and problem-solving ability. Very good. Positively, thank you. It helps to get more insight to solve problems. More insight to solve problems. Thank you very much, Oluwatosin.
It's
okay. So from all you have said, it's obvious that learning has impacted on us as individuals. But I would have loved to hear from probably maybe some executives or HR directors to know how it has impacted on their business as a whole. because really it is the individuals that makes up the business, like I said. So if individuals are impacted positively and it's reflecting on their job, definitely is going to impact positively on the business. And so that is what we are saying on this slide. So the next slide is how can we implement e-learning for business growth? So now we have all agreed that e-learning impacts positively on the growth of organization. So what do we do to ensure that we implement it the right way? Because people implement e-learning the wrong way, and because of that, they don't get the return on investment, on their investment. So they invest on learning platforms, and at the end of the day, they see that they are not getting the return, the needed return on the investment that they are put on that platform. So I just want to take us through the steps that we can take or go through to ensure that we implement e-learning so that at the end of the day, we achieve business growth for our organization. So the first one is that before you even talk of getting a learning platform, you have to assess the training need of your organization. So the first thing you do is that you conduct a training needs analysis. You want to identify the skills, the knowledge, and the competency gaps. What are the gaps that are currently in the organization? You want to identify that first. So once you have identified that, the next thing you do is now to go ahead and choose the right e-learning platform. You have to choose the right e-learning platform. So there are different kinds of learning platforms all over the world globally. So you want to make sure that the learning platform you are choosing is that suits the requirement of your organization. Oh, because company A is using a particular platform does not mean you go ahead to use that platform. The question you ask yourself is that platform, does it suit the requirement of my organization? So that is very, very critical. So after you have chosen the right platform, the next thing is that you have to encourage employees' participation and engagement. So for organizations, we've seen situations, for some of our clients even, we have implemented learning platform for them, and we discovered that some of them, they complain to us that their staff are not utilizing the platform as it's supposed to be. So after an organization has invested so much in deploying a platform, the users are not using the platform. So what we usually do is that we try as much as possible to engage with our client to see how we can take them through different strategies on how they can help their employees to optimally utilize the platform. And that has worked for organizations. So you want to communicate the benefits of the platforms to employees. Let them even know the reason why they should use the platform, because some of them don't. You want to provide incentives and recognitions for participants on the platform, and also you recognize people that have achieved something on the platform. That will serve as a kind of motivation for employees to go ahead and continually use the platform. And the next one is that provide ongoing support and resources. So as HR officer, you will need to ensure, or as learning directors, you need to ensure that you provide ongoing support for your learners. That will motivate them to use the platform continuously. Then lastly, you measure and evaluate the effectiveness regularly. How effective is the platform? You measure it. Because if you don't measure it, you won't know whether you are growing or you are not growing. So it is the measurement and evaluation that will determine, that will help you to know whether the people are using the platform and whether it is ultimately positively impacting on the organization. So once you go through these steps, it will help to enhance the growth of your organization. So for you as an individual, well, this is not targeted at individual, this is targeted at the organization now. But for individual, you want to ensure that you use you learn on the platform to enhance your skill as an individual. To enhance your skills, some of us are into new roles. Some of us are just trying to get new skills. So for you to be able to perform optimally in your new role or the new skill that you want to start, you need to ensure that you engage continuous learning. Continuous learning, and e-learning has made it easy. Anywhere you are, on the go, you can be learning. Whilst you're on the road, you can be learning on your mobile phone. Whilst you're in the office, you can be learning whilst you are working. So there's no excuse for people to say, oh, I'm too busy, I have too much to do, so I don't have time to learn. No excuse any longer. You have the platform on your mobile phone, you have the platform at your desktop, on your desktop. So anytime, any day, anywhere, you can learn. So remember the trends in e-learning that I said. I said there is another trend which has to do with the learning experience platform. So learning has gone beyond just an LMS to a learning experience platform. And the difference between LMS, a lot of us are so used to LMS, but we are not so used to the learning experience platform. There is a difference between the two. So for the learning experience platform, you see that it provides is AI and machine learning is inbuilt with AI, artificial intelligence. So it provides personalized content library that can be curated based on your interest. So you can curate content based on your interest. And it can create, a learning experience platform can create a learning journey for you based on your interest. If you say, oh, I want to specialize in software development now, and the platform will ask you, okay, where are you at the moment? Maybe you don't know anything about software development, but you want to get to the highest level in software development. The platform will create a journey for you. That is where the personalized experience comes to play. It will create a journey for you to say, oh, what you need to do is that the first course you need to take is maybe an introduction to software development. Then after that, you move to the area of intermediate software development. So it will create a learning journey from the beginning to the level that you want to get to. And that helps you. Based on that, you are able to take courses, take content in a more structured manner. But an LMS just gives you access to a lot of materials, a lot of courses, without curating those courses and creating a learning journey based on those courses for you. So that is the difference between the two. So in the next slide, you'll see that there is a lot of difference between a learning experience platform and an LMS. Remember, I said that for a learning experience platform, it is embedded with artificial intelligence that can be speaking to you. As you are taking a course, you are taking a particular course, it's already giving you suggestions on courses that will be relevant to you. The platform is already giving you suggestions. You understand? So that is an LXP for you. So the difference that I just mentioned here, there are other differences, but I just mentioned a few. The first one is that the focus and purpose of an LMS is primarily designed for managing and delivering learning content. So that is just the basic management of content. That is an LMS. Why an LSP gives you, it emphasizing providing personalized and engaging learning experience, immersive learning. not just content, but immersive and engaging experience that it gives you. And in terms of content management, an LMS just exposes you to a lot of content. It exposes you to a repository of content. But an LSP focuses on content curation and also aggregation from diverse sources. And it also creates learning journey for you. In terms of learning experience, an LMS just provides a structured and standardized experience, just the standard experience of learning. But an LSP offers personalized and interactive learning. You can interact with the platform. It's like an instructor is talking to you. In fact, there is a platform whereby you can ask a mentor certain questions, and mentors will provide answers to you. So that is an LXP, social and collaborative learning. This is not available in an LMS, but in an LXP, it prioritizes social learning where you can learn in groups. You can ask questions. You can have cohort sessions. You can have knowledge sharing sessions where you can be asking questions. So that is an LXP. Analytics and insight for an LMS is just the basic analytics. But for an LXP, there are advanced analytics features for LXP. So that is the next level, and that is where the world is now. That is where the world has got into now. So that is the next trend of e-learning, and that is where we are. So with that, I want to introduce us to a platform which is Percipio Learning Experience Platform. So this is an learning experience platform. So for this Percipio, Philips Consulting is the only partner of Percipio in West Africa, and is a globally recognized platform, learning experience platform. It is owned by Skillsoft. It's a cloud-based learning experience platform that delivers immersive learning. And it also uses AI and machine learning to enhance tailored and personalized learning experience. So these are some of the features which I'm not going to spend so much time on. Skill benchmark, it can benchmark your skill. It discovers your strengths and the gaps in learning, and also it gives you personalized recommendation based on the gaps that have been identified. And also it's a platform that can help learners to start a conversation with other learners, and you can ask questions. You can ask questions and share thoughts and insights. It has also a leaderboard features, and that leaderboard shows learners how they can rank among their peers. So among your peers, where are you? In an organization now, the platform can help you tell you at every point in time where you are, comparing yourself with your other colleagues. So it also enables learners in the flow of work, social sharing, team-based learning, and collaborative sessions. So another feature is that it has a live lab. You know, for some of us that are in technology, for some of the technology certification courses, you know that you require practical sessions, and those practical sessions involve lab sessions, whereby you have live server, and you are able to do practicals on live server. So for that platform, that feature is available for technical courses, where you have live server and you can get practical sessions on the platform. So third-party content support, you can bring in your own content and embed in the platform. Analytics, like I've mentioned, advanced analytics, mobile app, so you can get the platform on your mobile app. So this is just, with all this, if all this is put in place, there is no way that organization will not experience business growth. if the individuals and the learners are imbibing learning and are ensuring that they take learning as important, you'll see that at the end of the day, it will impact positively on the growth of the organization. And with this, I come to the end of the presentation. Don't know whether there's an opportunity to ask questions.
Yeah, do people have questions? I mean, our time is fast spent, but the session has been so engaging and informative that I was wondering, this was what we were going to miss with all the internet issues. So let's ask questions. And I think this slide is very, very useful if you would be willing to share with the audience.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be a good idea as well. So, but if anyone has a question now, let's bring it up right now before we wrap up this session. There are some comments in the chat. However, I think people have been agreeing with what you said. Adaptability and problem-solving abilities. Yeah, said it helps to get more insights, solve problems. Absolutely. When you have, your learning analytics, you're able to get information, feedback on how learners are engaging, their performance, how they are completing their sessions and all that, how well they are doing, passing or failing the quizzes. It helps you to know how to improve learning design. Lyinka says positively helping to acquire knowledge beyond the borders. Great. Conduct. So Chiebere said, should we then phase out the LMS and just onboard to LXP? That's a question for you, Onesimus.
Okay. So just to answer that question, you don't need to phase out the LMS. Not everybody. Well, LSP is more LMS. Like if you look at what I said in terms of implementing an e-learning solution in your organization, I said the first thing is that you need to identify the skill gap. Then you need to look at if you are going to get a learning platform, it has to be based on your organizational requirements. If what your organization requires is just a basic learning that you don't need the advanced functionalities, then you can stay with the LMS. But if you need some advanced functionalities in your platform based on the requirement of your organization, I would advise that you migrate to the LXP, because definitely there are better features on the LXP than the LMS. So look at where you are and look at your requirements and decide on what you want to do, whether you want to go for the LMS or the LXP.
Great answer there. So Chiaberis, Lyle, so can you speak on the role of learning experience designers and how such skills can be acquired? Okay, I think I can answer that. So as a learning experience designer, it's given different names: instructional designer, digital learning designer. So if you want to acquire that skills, there are a lot of resources online that you can use. There's LinkedIn Learning. Well, and then you can it's also taken in some universities as an educational tech. And then we have boot camps, which is one of the things that the e-learning and instructional design hub, we provide. We provide boot camps of 2 weeks, 12-week boot camp to help you kickstart your journey as a learning designer. You get all the skills to be able to, the learning principles. We've heard so much about learning principles today. The models for actually creating learning. Onesimus mentioned something about need analysis. There is this basic model for creating learning. I mean, that's where most of the other frameworks took their root. It's called ADDIE, where you have to do analysis, you design, you develop, you implement, and evaluate. We'll take you through this process in which you are involved in a project, real-life project with subject matter experts, and then you'll be able to create your portfolio and other things. That is one of the things we're going to talk about at the closing session tomorrow. So there are different options for you, of which is one of the things that we provide. The last question says, by Chair, there is at what grade level do you think LXP would be appropriate if we are looking at experiential learning? I mean, the answer to that was already provided by Nesimus. You need to do your need analysis. I don't know if you're a learning designer already. This is a question. This is, how do I put it now? As a learning designer, we don't just take up courses. We don't just take, you're asked to come and design learning as a learning professional, even in your organization. When you understand the process of designing learning, you always be consultative. You're not just taking orders, in which case you want to understand why learning is taking place. You always ask the question, why? Why are we taking, when you do your analysis, you'll be surprised that at times you don't even need learning. Not to now talk of having a learning experience, using a learning experience platform. So you always have to start with need analysis, always start with the end in mind of what solution are we trying to solve. And when you're trying to answer that question, you're trying to understand who you are designing learning for. What exactly is the problem? These are all the things that when you have good knowledge of learning design, it takes you as a process, even in the choice of your LMS, like Onesimus said, it's not just about using LMS or LXP. What are you trying to achieve with this platform? What you're trying to achieve will determine what features you're looking at. Even these learning experience platforms and LMSs, all of them have varying features. Not all of them have the same feature in them. Your choice of which platform to use will be determined by what exactly you want to achieve. And that brings us back to your analysis, which I hope that answers your question. I don't know if Onesimus has anything to add to that.
And just to add, so this learning experience platform is not something that an individual can just implement.
Yeah.
So it is going to be something for organizations.
Yeah.
For organizations, not for individuals now. You understand? So if your organization is on an LMS, if it's meeting your need at that level, well, it's fine. But if you see that there are more things that you want to get, more features, more experience, more learning experience that you want to get on your platform, then you need to step up your game to the learning experience platform that has AI functionalities. But as an individual, somebody is asking here that how can we explore the Percipio LXP platform?
That's the last one. So I guess if you can share your LinkedIn profile, let them connect with you, and then
you can connect with me. We'll discuss that.
And on that level, everyone, please let's share our LinkedIn profile in the chat and connect with one another. This conference is also about networking and building a community of digital learning designers. That's what if you did not come for the welcome session in the morning, the very first session, you're going to have it uploaded on our YouTube after the conference. All the sessions, go through them. One of the things we do is what we are doing basically is to champion e-learning design in Africa and in underrepresented communities. In our community, we do workshops on digital learning design. We use different tools to design learning. So learning is not just about putting information on the LMS. What about that learning itself? There's a way you can design your learning that it's not just like PDF. I'm sure some of us have seen learning that in form of animation, gamification, scenario-based, and all that. These are the things that we delve into. The last two workshops we did, we explored how to use AI to design learning. And it was 3 different classes of 2 hours each. Workshop were practical. One of the other classes we design scenario-based learning, how you can relate with your subject matter expert to get them to give you the content that you need and help them, streamline their content. We used PowerPoint and Canva and Genially, and we designed interactive learning. It was really amazing. So these are the things that you enjoy in our community free of charge. We also have monthly webinars where we have global leaders in learning. Like in this conference that we have almost 20 people speaking to us in 2 days. We cannot do this every month, right? So every month we have someone talk to us about a major topic on a monthly basis. This need analysis, we have resource for it. If you join the community, you'll be able to have access to the materials to understand what need analysis is all about. And very soon we're going to be talking about different LMSs, how to choose them. I mean, we have one option here if you want to talk to Onesimus, but we also have other, ways you can understand your LMS. So there are different things that you learn in our community. And we're also launching our mentoring program very soon, which we're going to launch tomorrow, where you can have access to, people who are volunteering to help you in your journey. Somebody asked a question, how do you become a learning experience designer? If you join the community, you have someone hold you by the hand. And then, of course, we have the boot camp as well. So that brings us to the end of today's session. It's been, amazing, an amazing time since 10 a.m. till now. We've had topics on different things like neurodivergence, relating with your stakeholders, internally, externally, learning journey, and we had the chief growth officer of Butter, the platform we are using, show us all the cool features. All of these are going to be available for you to watch. And remember, tomorrow is another day where we have more people. We also talked about evaluation strategy. Yes, we had a panel session. So tomorrow we are going to have more topics. We have two people talking about AI, one in education, one in the corporate organization. We're going to be having someone talk about how to start an e-learning business for yourself. We're going to be having, I'll share in the chat now our website. You can go through all the topics, or if you go on LinkedIn, you see different posts that we have made about all the sessions that we're going to be having and when. If you can't attend all of them, you can choose which one you want to attend. And because you have registered, there's